Hey guys, I just got home from work and then, hold on. Second, because I gotta let my dog outside real quick. Oh, also, you know, you need a new car when this happens. A little remote falling off the keychain of my key. Yeah, the remote thing fell off. Anyways, I am going to put those back in my pocket. And what I'm gonna do right now is this, because I'm gonna put this stuff back in the freezer. Which is basically my little freezer pack. I thought that these would work really well in keeping stuff like super cold. It's like, it works for a short time. It doesn't work as well as I thought it would. These are freezer bags, by the way. So yeah, it's like cute little like ice packs for like lunches and stuff. But like, and yes, I know I'm half a child. I don't care. Yes, it's frozen, but I don't care. But this actually goes in the freezer itself. Like this whole bag goes inside the freezer. Hence the name freezer bag. But the thing is, if you let it sit longer than 4 hours, it kind of like gets, if you try to eat the sandwich in here for that amount of time, it gets very soggy, sadly. So I'm gonna have to figure out something else in regards to that. I am going to actually tell you here. I don't know why, but I really, sorry for the weird angle, but I really hate socks. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're just too tight on my feet. I cannot stand tight socks. Whether they're tight on my feet or not, I just can't stand socks. I don't know what it is or why I can't stand socks. I just can't stand them. So every single time I get home, it's the first thing I do is take off socks. Like literally, I take off socks. You're literally like, no joke, like it's gonna sound weird, but like you'll literally find like 5 pairs of socks around my house, just lying on the floor, because that's how much I despise socks. Okay, maybe not 5. I'm a little bit. I can talk. Sorry, I'm a little on camera now. Okay, so 5 was a little bit of an exaggeration. You'll literally find at least 3 pairs of socks lying around. Like, yeah. There's that, and then I'm gonna go and here. Give me a second. I need to figure out how to film this the way that I want to film it. I know this is not the first thing I usually do when I get home. It's just something I want to do and want to show you guys. Give me a second because I need to figure out the best way to film this. Give me just one moment. Okay, I know this isn't the most ideal setup, but it's better than nothing. And now, like I said, I don't usually do this the second I get home, so I'm gonna actually flip that for a second. I'm not gonna show you the inside of this because it's very private stuff and very private information, so that's information that I do not need getting out into the world. But I am gonna show you this thing that I am using as a financial planner. It's my own little financial booklet. It's my own little expense tracking thing. What I can do is give examples, but I cannot do the actual amounts for privacy reasons. And I'm gonna explain, in a moment, I'm gonna do this first, but in a moment I'm gonna explain how I track my finances. Sorry if this bores you, I hope it doesn't. I'm gonna try to see what I can keep in here, and I'm gonna see, I might just add music because it's probably gonna be very silent until I can get to the explanation part. So, yeah. Then I did some of it this morning, actually. Ignore my feet. I love it. Please ignore my feet. I just love putting my feet on tables for some reason. Don't ask why, I just do. I do love putting feet on tables. Do not ask me why. So, yeah. Please ignore my feet. Sorry, I'm trying to be entertaining. My baby kitty. There's something I do need to think about because I'm confused on something. Did I screw something up? Did I screw up a calculation? Wait, what? Now I'm confused. I am very, very confused. Ew, wait a minute. Is that what happened? First. Oh, okay. I think I see what I've done. Ooh. There's no reason why I have so many different word pens. So I've missed using my flare pens. I do have flare pens. I've missed using them. I don't use them. Hey, get your claws out of the couch, please. No, attention seeker. You're a little attention seeker Kit Kat. Okay, that's what that was. Okay. Oh, that looks so funny. That'll look hilarious. It's what happens when you let a cat be a cat. Sorry, my cat just nearly fell off the table. Not kidding. He was walking along the side of the coffee table like it was like this part on the other side. He was walking along this part of it on the other side. And he was walking on it like it was like a curve, like a gymnastics curve type of thing. Or like, not even a gymnastics curve. What I'm thinking of is balance beam. And he nearly fell. It was funny. continue what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna try my best to do it quickly, and then I will explain what I'm doing. I'll like explain my methods in terms of finance tracking and stuff like that. And yes, it's a lot of calculations for me. With my in the back of my head, it's more calculation based than anything else, but it's like simple math stuff. So yeah, there's that. That's just how I do it. This is how I track my finances, but I am gonna provide some examples in how I track stuff. Anyways, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye. My antsy little baby kitty. Why do cats love tables? Seriously. Guys, come on. You love tables and countertops for some reason. I don't know why, but you do. No joke, the bit laid it. He left his whole body there. Okay, so my cat's being very picky. He's being very antsy because I'm not feeding him exactly at 3 p.m. on the dot. And I need to cut some parts out, so I apologize if it's weird. But that's because I accidentally showed some of my finances, like my legit finances. So, whoops. My bad. I am gonna explain my methods though. Give me just one moment to calculate something. If my cat doesn't want to be Mr. Antsy Pants. I need to figure out how to do it, like an example thing. By the way, my calculations are solely based on the amounts in a checking account and not savings accounts, because as long as you're not spending the money that you have in the savings accounts, then you should be fine. Good for you for not spending that money. Good for you not for doing anything with that money. Just save it up as much as you can for those savings accounts. If you can have a savings account, that's awesome. But if you only have a checking account for now, I'm probably gonna do like 2 different versions or 2 different methods, because I know some are gonna have like different amounts in their accounts and stuff, and I'm not gonna do an actual amount. I'm gonna just do like what's it called, I'm gonna do like estimates of like, hopefully that could be a real amount for some people, but then for others it might be a completely different amount. And I'm gonna explain how I do things, and these are just example amounts. They are not the actual amount in my account at all, because that's extremely private and you guys do not need to know what I have in my account. Like I said, some will definitely have a lot more. Some will definitely have like a higher amount of this in their checking account, while others will have like a lower amount. So I'm going to explain that too, and explain what I do and how I calculate things. Oh, one more thing. If you're going to do calculations like this, I highly recommend you to do a fresh start when you first get paid. If you have the time to do it, do this when you first get paid, because you will not be able to track. I've learned how to track it where like if I forget to track it for a week, I've learned how to go back and track it correctly. But definitely do this when you first get paid, or if you can, or like try to remember to track it the same day if you can. That's what I've learned how to do. And so yeah, there's that. Ignore the angle. Ignore this angle right now. So let's say, I need to go back to something real quick. What, cat? Okay, if you're hearing all that noise in the background, it's because my cat is playing with dog food right now. No joke. He's literally playing with dog food. Literally playing with the dog food. So if you're a bunch of ruckus, that's him playing with dog food. So, yeah. My cat and his antics. I told you he was being antsy pants. And then I need to... Nope. I need to do like an estimate. And there's things I need to like refer back to some stuff real quick. best way to do a proper estimate, so I know this is gonna look really, really weird, so just be patient with me. Because with this kind of calculation, it's just gonna look very, very weird. That part I do know. I know, sweetie. Just give me some time, okay, babies? So this is an example. So that's the current amount, for example, it's just an example amount in a checking account. And then here's an example for like the date August 21st. If you got, like, for example, if you get paid on Wednesdays, that's just an example. And here's an example amount of the paycheck. And this is only if someone has like one job. If you don't, I'm not including multiple jobs because that's a different kind of calculation. That's a different system that is completely different. So I'm not doing that. I'm not calculating multiple jobs. This is just for one job. And for example, let's say this same date, despite getting paid on the same date, let's say you need to go to Target for like a few little small items and you spend $23.77. And then let's say you need a gas and you spend $80 on gas. And then let's say you go to TJ Maxx for whatever it is you need, whether it's food. Most of the time, this amount's probably gonna be about like food or something around there. Like miscellaneous food. So here's this thing, yes, and this, so I'm gonna explain right now that this does not include any rent costs, and it does not include if you have loan payments, it does not include if you have a student loan, and this does not include if you have like credit card payments. So that's completely different, and that's just a completely different system, so this does not include any of those amounts, but it technically can, and especially where I happen to live. Okay, so for the state that I live in, if you know about my other channel, then you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. You technically, in order to live on your own, like live by yourself, you either need a job to have since you're 12 years old, but the only job that a 12-year-old can technically get is in acting, from what I've noticed and from what I've seen. Or if they do it like through chores and stuff, like helping out around the house. Some 12-year-olds get paid for chores, others don't, sadly. But pretty much, you either have to have a job since you're like 12 or 13 to be able to live on your own in my state, or work at least 2, if not 3 jobs just to be able to afford living on your own. Because like right now, like where I happen to live, apartments like are crazy expensive. Even like a studio, or one bath studio costs like $2,500 for rent alone, and it's like unless like, who has, like, no offense, but who has that kind of money? Most people don't, unless they have like a really good paying job. Like, I'm lucky to be where I'm at right now, and I'm still learning financial wise and stuff. But then I don't know how to explain it, because I don't know if there's any jobs out there that say like pay $40 an hour. If you're in that job, be very thankful and be very lucky that you're in a job like that, because like that's kind of like what you need. So like in order to be able to live on your own where I'm at. So like that's from my perspective. So anyways, here's this part. The top, the original checking account amount. Okay. So here's the top. This is the original checking account amount. This is what whoever got paid for that particular day. And so let's say they went shopping this day. So here's the checking account. You minus this. Minus what was spent at Target first. And then you do this by a check-by-check basis. So here's the paycheck amount. Right? So here's the paycheck right here. The original paycheck minus 23.7 cents. So technically you could do this one of 2 ways. I did it individually, because I feel like it's just a better layout and it makes more sense to me. You don't have to do it individually like this. What you can do if you need to And to make it easier, you can actually add all three amounts and then just do it twice. You do the total, like for your, let me do this real quick. Oops. Nope, that's not what I wanted. So for all three amounts, because let's say you need gas, that would be $80, and then, yeah. So with these three amounts, it equals $109.76. And what I mean by only doing it twice, meaning you only, sorry for this is gonna look really sloppy, so I do apologize for that for those who hate sloppiness. So here's this. You still come out with the same end result, because here's this one right here, right? And then here's this if you do it this way. And then the same goes for this paycheck thing. If you do 318.45 minus 109.76, and a double check to make sure it comes out to the same amount. 18.45 minus 208.69, which I put in a rectangle down here. So it does come out to the same exact thing. It just depends on how your brain works when it comes to math and calculations. So like I said, I know that looks sloppy. So like technically you can either do it one of two ways. You can list it like this, like ignore this part, ignore me adding the whole thing up, and you can like list it out like that. Or you can add everything up and then add it here and then do it twice rather than doing it. Sometimes this is easier for me depending on what my brain's processing and the calculations that it's doing. Like I said, do this with a new paycheck though when you first get paid. And then let's say you go like a couple days without spending, let's say you go a couple days without spending any money. And then let's say on August 23rd, let's say like, ironically that's today, but this is just, like I said, this is just examples. And then let's say you actually have a minimum payment due for your credit card. So let's say your minimum payment is like $200, right? For a credit card. That's literally the last half of, like, literally the last half of that check. So like, do 208.69 minus $200, and you'll have, I believe, $8.69 left over. Equals $8.69. Like I said, just because there is money in the account like this, the ending amount right here, 51.63.62, just because it's there doesn't mean it should be spent. I hope that makes sense. I really hope you understand my logic when it comes to that. Like minus 200, right? Let's say. And then you'll be down to 49.63 in your account. And like I said, this does not include rent. Rent is completely different. So if it does, if you have money in your account for rent, then that's completely different. But if you can pay rent in cash, that'd be kind of cool for those who are able to do that, because that's what I do. I do pay rent, but it's not, I'm very, very thankful and lucky that it's not that much. So yeah. And like, for example, let's say, this is just an example. So if you, let's say you have the $4,963.62 in your account, right? And then let's say your rent is like, say, $2,500, right? $2,500 minus $2,500, you'll be down to $2,463.62 in your checking account. This is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. Why I understand why some people have at least 2 to 3 jobs.
And this is the exact reason why, is because of how high rent is where I live. Like, rent is a lot higher than this, to be honest, and most people pay between probably at least 3,000 to almost 4,000 for others, depending on the kind of apartment that they wanted to rent, I guess, or yeah. And it's also why, like, a lot of people have roommates too, so I do get that.
So there's the explanation into math calculations in my brain when it comes to financial tracking. So that's my brain. I'm sorry, that's just my little brain. I am lucky enough that I'm still learning, and then I'm also trying my best. Another thing for me personally, and I've actually learned a lot from it, is the interest rates on credit cards. And even though I only have one, I've learned how to get it down, and I have a plan for it, because I have a plan to do like a little transfer thing. I have a plan to get it down to a certain amount first before I do a transfer, because technically you can do that, but you have to be very, very careful, because technically, so this is going to sound strange, but you can technically transfer, if your credit card has a high interest rate, you can technically transfer it to a credit card that has a 0% APR interest rate. But if you do not, like for example, most credit cards that offer the 0% APR interest rate for 1 year, here's the thing with this. So you have to be extremely careful with this, because when you do that, you actually, like, let's say they offer it for a whole year, right? If they offer, for the companies that offer it for a whole year, you have to pay it down. You have to pay the whole card down, the whole amount on that said credit card down the entire year. Because if you don't, they can actually double your interest rate, meaning it'll be even worse for you than you think. And that's, I think, I'm not positive, I think that's how some get you. Especially for those that are trying to budget like me and trying to like actually save money and trying to like, and I'm not, I'm not the best when it comes to finances. I admit I'm not the best at all when it comes to my finances, but I'm learning a lot about saving and tracking my money. So that's just, like I said, that's literally my calculations. That's my brain when it comes to financial tracking. Like, no joke, that's literally my brain when it comes to financial tracking. So there's that. So because what I want to try to do is sorry, my arm's getting tired. Hold on. Sorry, the thing was getting like red, like it was gonna cut out on me. Anyways, like I was saying, that's my brain when it comes to financial tracking. So what I'm trying to do is look at it by a check basis, and not actually look at it by the how much I have in my account. Because it's like, when you don't look at things on a check basis, like every time you get paid, then it's like that money could be gone so quickly without you even knowing it. Because it's like, and for me personally, I know everyone's different, but for me personally, I will use cash whenever I can. That, and also with cash, you don't necessarily have to track it. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So that's another thing too, but you definitely have to track what you take out. That's what you need to track, is like, for example, let's say you take $80 cash out. Like, what are you taking that $80 cash out for? Are you taking $80 cash out for groceries? Are you taking it out for like small stuff? Are you taking it out for like small like clothes shopping? Or are you taking it out for like gas? Or are you taking it out for whatever you need to take it out for? So I personally am using a cash envelope system. That's just me. But you also have to know, unless you commute like crazy, you definitely need to know how much you spend on gas and how often you spend, like how often you get gas. So yeah, you really need to like focus on that too if you can. For those who can and can actually do things like that, then definitely do that. But like, if you commit youth, then that's completely different. So you're not going to know how much you spend, and you're not going to know the exact cost of gas. Anyways, my cat's looking at me because he's annoyed. He is not happy with me right now. So I'm gonna go feed my animals, and I will see you another time, because that is it for today's video. I promise you, I'm not trying to make these videos, vlogs, whatever you want to call them. I don't care what you want to call them, whatever you want to call them. Anyways, for this this is for my new channel, so I promise you I'm not trying to make them super long, but they are super long. So I truly apologize for that. So, unless you like long ones. So let me know if you like the long ones. If you don't, I will try my best to shorten them as much as possible and as much as I can. So I do apologize for the long videos. Anyways, I'll see you another time. Bye!